This is the teacher tutorial of how to make a stained glass butterfly. You're going to need to make sure that each of your students has 2 pieces of black construction paper, and you're going to want to tape them together because they will be tracing on one piece of construction paper and cutting them both out at the same time. Now they can trace them separately and cut them out separately, but this way actually works pretty well and goes pretty quickly, and it does cut down on the amount of time it takes for this part of the art project. Make sure that you're telling your students to only cut out the inside openings because you want those 2 pieces of tape to hold the 2 pieces together. So when they start cutting, they're only going to be cutting the inside shapes of the butterfly. The other thing I have my students do is put X's in each of the areas that are going to be cut out. Once you've taken the template off, you really just have a giant piece of black paper, and it's hard to tell, oh, am I cutting this part out or am I, leaving this part? So by putting X's, it really does help. And again, they want to cut out the inside parts first. The piece of construction paper that you have left over, you can use to trace the body of your butterfly when you're finished with the wings. I'm not going to cut out every single one of these in the video, but you can understand how to do it. Students will need a pretty decent pair of scissors for this part. They need to be fairly sharp. And now let's go ahead and we've cut out both our templates and we've cut out the body of the butterfly. And in this part of the video, I'm going to actually create a monarch butterfly. This is the easy version because I am only going to use one giant piece of orange tissue paper. And what you're going to want to do is, as the students have traced out the size piece that they need to fit over all the different openings, they're going to want to cut around the outside edge of that about 1/4 inch. Just double check to make sure that it fits in the template. And then I like to use glue stick on this part. It just works better, and it allows students to be able to secure the tissue paper down without the tissue paper getting all soggy from using too much liquid glue. And then you're going to use white tissue paper for the smaller openings. And again, you can do those, cover those holes more than one at a time, just to speed up the process. And once they're finished with that, you actually are going to have liquid glue when they go to glue the 2 pieces together. Just very teeny tiny amounts of liquid glue work really well. Your students can erase some of the pencil marks if you want them to. So once they have glued the 2 pieces of construction paper together, the wings together, you're going to take the 2 pieces of construction paper and decide where you want the wings to kind of touch the body. You can move it around a bit. They don't all have to be the same. And you're going to glue that so that the wings are on the inside, kind of a sandwich of the body. And when that's finished, you need to let it dry. And once it's dried, you're going to use a hole punch, and at the top of your butterfly, that's where you can hang it from. And then a hole punch at the tip of the head if you want to give your butterfly antenna, and just use black or brown pipe cleaner and trim off any white tissue paper that's sticking out. You can see kind of some at the top. Now I'm going to show you a different version where you can add different colors of tissue paper. It's a little bit harder, but it really has a big impact. All right, so I like to use a picture as a guide, and I selected multiple different colors of orange from a yellowish orange to kind of a reddish orange for the wings. And then just like you did with the larger version, you're going to want to trim after tracing the individual holes, and then cut about 1/4 of an inch outside. Now, because this version is slightly harder, students are going to have to, just keep checking. Like I fold over and then flip it over to make sure that each of the different colors cannot be seen coming through another opening. And then I just continue to cut and glue using glue stick with this part. And really just, you can pick any colors you want. I chose those different colors and then just trimmed and kept cutting. I used white for the dots. And then if they're going to erase, make sure that they're being very gentle. If they trace with a very light mark, they won't need to erase very much. They just need to be careful. And then use some white glue to dot around the outside edge to secure the butterfly together. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me at Acres of Learning, where you can check out more of my stained glass templates.